Let us start this session with a silent prayer. Good evening, all. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the fourth session of the FDP program. Now I call Professor Janardhanan, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Shift 2, to introduce our resource person. Janardhanan, sir, are you there?
Hello, ma'am. Audible? Hello, sir. Hello?
Yes, audible, Janardhanan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Good evening to all. I immense pleasure to introduce our chief guest of the day, Dr. G. Vijay Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Sri Tyagaraja College, Chennai. So, respected professors, having teaching experience of more than 2.5 decades of service rendered in teaching experience and 1.5 decade of service in research experience. The respected professor was producing more than 8 PhDs and now pursuing 4 of them under their guidance. Respected professor presently working in Sri Tyagaraja College, Chennai, is having technical skills like SPSS, Mendeley, Strata, and Excel. Sir published more than 64 papers in national and international levels. And he was presented and attended more than 52 conferences. The professor is a member of Academic Council member of University of Madras. Sir published various books like Industrial Law, Personal Management, and Commercial Law. And then not only the above one, but also is a research person of more than many institutions, is conducting SPSS workshops, etc. So I'm really very proud of you to introduce our chief guest of the day because of the respected professor is in my guru, my role model. So now I hand over to the session to respected professor and today's chief guest of the day. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Janardhanan. Thank you very much
sir.
for impressive introduction. Really, I'm very happy. Since you are a student, you are introducing me to this program. Really, I'm very happy. Before we commence this program, first I extend my sincere thanks to the management of Patrician College, principal, head of the department, faculty members of Shift 1, Shift 2, and teaching as well as non-teaching staff of other departments for giving me the wonderful opportunity to be a part of the FDP program. Yeah, today's session, data analysis and interpretation. This is a very tough task for me. Matter of 1.5 hours, we complete entire things is a very difficult task. Of course, maximum whatever the point needed for analysis, I'll explain the things. Of course, that will be helpful to the researcher as well as scholars. Shall I start the program? I'm audible?
Sir, you are audible, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. I also congratulate the team, the FDP team for conducting this type of program. Really very nice, excellent, of course, very useful to researchers. I also wish the team to conduct every year this type of program. Of course, this will be very, very useful to the academic group. Yeah. Now we'll go to the session. The today's session is the last previous day before day, yesterday program and all that I attended. Literature survey, how we are going to find out the research problem, critical background, everything you studied. This is the one of the important one. Data analysis and interpretation. This is the major process research. In research process, the data analysis one of the important aspect as well as the core aspect. Usually, in any type of research, writing paper, writing a project, dissertation, writing thesis, and all that, we usually use the two types of data. One is the primary data, another one is secondary data. Of course, the primary data, the data is collected from the respondents directly. Secondary data is nothing but the topic related, the theoretical background, concept framework, operational definition, everything we coded. That is the secondary data. Primary data based on your literature survey, based on your research gap, we are going to frame. We already framed some objectives as well as hypothesis. To fulfill that hypothesis as well as objectives, we'll frame the questionnaire and get the responses from respondents. For example, we are going to measuring the service quality measurement in banking sector. See, we have to prepare the questionnaire according to that, the service quality dimensions, tangibility, reliability, responsiveness, assurance, and everything. Questionnaire prepare and collect the responses from the customers of the bank. Then only we can get some information. Data analysis not only help for drawing the inferences, also helpful to make some suggestion to the related study. That is the major one. Usually, the analysis has been segregated in the two types of analysis we can do. So the first one, descriptive analysis. The second one is the inferential analysis. A descriptive analysis is nothing but simply we can run the frequency distribution as well as mean, median, mode, skewness, kurtosis, distribution of data. These are all the things we can include in descriptive analysis. Just we have to describe the data. Whatever the data we collected, just simply we run the SPSS software, we'll get the result. Not only SPSS, there are many softwares available. The R is the open access software, SPS is available, Stata is available. Lot of Zamovi is available. Lot of open access journals, open access software is available, but SPSS paid version. SPSS usually the user-friendly software. We can easily access the SPSS, we can easily get the inferences, results as well as we can draw the inferences. See, the already I told the analysis has been segregated in two categories: descriptive analysis as well as inferential analysis. Descriptive analysis, just we are going to describe the results. Inferential analysis, we have to test the hypothesis with statistical tool. Which tool is used to test the hypothesis, hypothetical results, statistical results. Any tool we can use, in case any related tool, which is the relevant tool for our study, we use and test the hypothesis and get the results. Usually, the ancient days, before the software and all that, we calculated manually everything. All the data we calculated manually to check with the calculated value, table value, the hypothesis accepted or rejected, then we'll take the decision. But now the lot of software is available. Software now we have draw the inferences based on the p-values. Based on the p-values. The p-value 0.002, 0.001, less than 1% level significant, 0.0112, 0.05% level of significance, above 0.05, there is no significance. See, the first I tell you how to connect the data in SPSS. Before going to the section, first I tell you how to connect the data in SPSS. See, whatever the data you collected from the people, you collected from the respondent, that data has been coded in Excel sheet in proper way. All the row wise, sample 1, sample 2, sample 3, sample 4, sample 5, like that. row wise we have to code it in the Excel sheet. Then that Excel sheet connected into SPSS, imported in SPSS, then we'll use for the analysis. Before connecting the Excel sheet, we need to check the Excel sheet properly, whether there is any error is there, any mistake is there, we eliminate it. Any irrelevant information is there, we have to eliminate it. For example, we collected the data through the five-point Likert scale. After respondent, they will respondent, 6, 7, 8 like that. Usually the 5-point Likert scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the 5-point Likert scale. Usually people use 3-point Likert scale, 5-point Likert scale, 7-point Likert scale. There are many scales are available, but my sincere advice to the scholars, young people, you please use only the 5-point Likert scale. When we was collected the 5-point Likert scale data, that has been coded in maximum 1 to 5. Sometimes the respondents wrongly posted 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 like that. So we have to eliminate that. So before we connecting the data, error-free data, we must connect with the SPSS we use. But the data has been classified into 3 segregations: nominal data, ordinal data, scale data. Nominal data, just we assign the numbers will get the results. For example, now gender category, age category, monthly income, occupation, family type. These are all the nominal data. We can put any number and get the frequency result easily. That is the nominal data that has been just assigned. Then scale data, nominal data, ordinal data. Ordinal data is nothing but the Likert scale data, 5-point Likert scale, 3-point Likert scale, 7-point Likert scale data has been coded in this. The scale data, whatever the raw data we collected, for example, any measurements, 20 inches, 25 inches, 30 inches, 35 inches, that is the scale data. Then we classify the data properly and scrutinize the data properly. Then we connect to the SPSS. Then we'll go for analysis. Analysis, I already explained, already told you, the analysis is very important aspect in research process. It will give the lot of information about the study. You already framed, based on your research gap, you framed the objectives, hypothesis, problem, everything you already prepared. You are going to find out the solution through the analysis. Based on that analysis, we'll go for suggestions, findings and solution and conclusion. Then in statistics, there are so many tools are available. We can test the hypothesis. Descriptive analysis, we can describe the data. Whatever the data we collected, categorical variable, age, gender, monthly income, marital status. These are all the things are categorical data. We can segregate the data through the frequency distribution. We'll get it. Very simply, we can get it. Otherwise, we need some mean values, average values, standard deviation, any distribution and all that. So we can check. Normality distribution and all that, we can check it. But inferential, we'll use the statistical tool and get the results. Now I share the Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Yeah. Usually the analysis has been segregated to 2 categories. The one is the parametric test. Another one is non-parametric test. Parametric as well as non-parametric test. Then we'll advanced tool is the multivariate tool, sectional case modeling, conformity factor analysis and all that. There is a multivariate tool. The basic things, the parametric test, no, we need to test the t-test, single mean, one sample test, independent sample t-test, and bad t-test, ANOVA. These are the parametric. I'll explain what circumstances we have to use the parametric test. When the data is normally distributed, then we'll use the parametric test. When the data is not normally distributed, then we'll use to the non-parametric test. Two categories. The first one, t-test. Usually the t-test, the SP Gupta book, he mentioned that t-test used when the sample size is 130. Correct? Audience? SP Gupta book, indicates that the sample size is 30 at the time we use the tool, the t-test. But here the unknown population, we collected any data from the unknown population, I mean infinite population, we can use the t-test, one sample t-test. Any number of samples we can use. T-test for single man, one sample t-test. What circumstances we have to use? For example, we collected the data from people, the satisfaction level of many services, banking services. We collected the data 5-point Likert scale, highly satisfied to highly dissatisfied. There are 3 items. In satisfaction, 3 items or 4 items. For example, 3 or 4 items. All the items we collected the 5-point Likert scale. At the time we use the one sample t-test. Each statement we get the mean value as well as standard deviation, t value and p value. Based on that results, we can draw the inferences. Whether the consumers are satisfied, whether the customers are satisfied the services of bank or not. The hypothesis, the customers are not satisfied the banking services in Chennai city, for example. The proposed hypothesis is the customers are not satisfied with the services which is rendered by the banking, private sector banking in Chennai city. We collected the data, we collected the responses from the people in the 5-point Likert scale. There are 5 items of this. All the 5 items, the p value in case less than 0.01, that is statistically significant, which means the proposed hypothesis is rejected. Alternate hypothesis, automatically alternate hypothesis will be accepted. See, the proposed hypothesis, the customers are not satisfied with the services rendered by the private sector banks in Chennai city. Automatically the opposite, in case the hypothesis is rejected, automatically the customers are absolutely satisfied with the services rendered by the private sector banks. That is the thing. One sample t-test, we can get the results based on the t value, but the thumb rule is 1.74, the t value minimum. That is the minimum benchmark. Less than 1.94, no, the p value also insignificant. That is the thing, we have to use the one sample t-test. We get the inferences. One sample t-test used in certain circumstances. All the Likert scale data, 5-point Likert scale data, we use the one sample t-test. Any services, any responses. For example, you collected the data from people, customer satisfaction about the Samsung mobile phone, satisfaction level. You created the 15 items. All the 15 items are created 5-point Likert scale. You collected all the data. All the data using for the analysis is very difficult task. So you have to consolidate. And all the average score, that score has been tested in one sample t-test, you get the results. T value, p value, mean value, standard deviation. Based on the average value, we can draw the inferences. Whether the proposed hypothesis accepted or rejected. Yes, we can draw the inferences. That is a one sample t-test. Then the another one is the t-test for 2 means. Independent t-test. The independent t-test used. We need 2 groups of variable. One is dependent variable, another one is grouping variable. Dependent variable, for example, satisfaction level of banking services, average score. grouping variable. That group should be 2 members, 2 groups. For example, gender category, male and female, 2 groups. Marital status, married and unmarried. Family type, banking sector, public sector, private sector, 2 groups. The condition is nominal, ordinal, or scale variable. We can use. For example, there is no significant difference between male and female consumers concerning the banking services of private sector banking services. Proposed hypothesis is there is no significant difference between male and female consumers with respect to or concerning the private sector banks services. Here we are going to compare the 2 items. Here we are going to compare the 2 items. One is grouping variable. Another one is customer service. Another one is customer service. So we have to check it. We have to check it whether there is any significant difference between male and female. Male and female. Whether there is any significant difference between male and female. Then we'll check it out based on the p-value. Based on the p-value, we'll draw the inferences. Based on the p-value, we'll draw the inferences. So for example, we'll get the t-value and as well as p-value. P-value is significant. P-value is significant. Less than 0.001. P-value 7.214. 7.214. So the p-value is significant. Based on that p-value, we can draw the inferences. We can draw the inferences. There is significant difference between male and female consumers concerning the private banking services. Concerning the private banking services. We draw the inference condition. There should be 2 groups. There should be 2 groups. For example, I show you. Can you see my data set?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So already explained one sample details. For example, I conducted the P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, P8. These are individual items. Items is collected the 5-point Likert scale. I conducted the one sample details. For example, analyze, compare means one sample detail. Just analyze, compare means one sample t-test, go for P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P7, P8. All the items we selected, posted test variable. Here now the test value, we put it 3. Why we are putting 3? Any reason? Or 2.5? Here no testing value must be posted with 3. See the result? The P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, P8. One sample t-test we used. N, the sample size. N is a. Ma'am, is it visible my screen?
Sir, the results are not visible, sir. We can see only the Excel sheet.
One sec. Results. SPS says result not visible.
Yes, sir.
One sec. No? Okay.
Yes, sir. Now it's visible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sure, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am, please let me know in case not visible. No, please let me know.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
People who are participating, please let me know. Otherwise, I do not know. Yeah. Here, no, 8 statement we conducted the one sample t test. I already told you, very clearly. SP Gupta mentioned only that 30 samples is enough for one sample t test. Beyond 30 samples, we could not conduct the one sample t test. But here, no, the population is infinite. We collected 572 samples. We are going to use the one sample t test. There are two segment of results is coming. One is one sample t test statistics. Another one is one sample test. Usually, the test value we must put the 3. Why we are putting 3? We are collecting the data as the 5-point Likert scale. Maximum 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Add it. 5 plus 4, 9. 9 plus 3, 12. 12 plus 2, 14. 14 plus 1, 15. 15 divided by 5. Average number 3. We supposed to put test value is 3. Okay. Test value should be 3. In case the mean values beyond 3, all the mean values are beyond 3, which indicates that all the respondents are positively agreed that particular statement. All the respondents are positively agreed that particular statement. So, for example, P1 3.77, the average value is 3. Beyond the average level, 3.77, 3.51, 3.62, 3.59, 3.48, 3.51, 3.68, 3.54. All the values are beyond 3, which means the respondents are positively agreed that particular statement. The deviation, dispersion, standard of error, the t value, degree of freedom, n minus 1, significant value, mean difference, lower and upper. But in case you are projecting the results, in your thesis, in your paper, just you mention only the mean value, n, mean, standard deviation, t, and significant value. That's enough. That's enough. For example, you open any Word document, you copy and paste this output, then use it. Yes. Next. Next, we are going to use the one sample t test. How we are going to conduct the one sample t test. Yes, I explained earlier, one sample t test, there should be 2 groups should be there. Any ordinal scale or scale data should be there. For example, the same data we use P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, P8. Then we are going to check any 2 groups are there. Yes, marital status. One is married, 2 is unmarried. Okay, we are going to check them. Analyze, compare means, independent sample t test. We use the same variable P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, P8. We use the test variable, we'll put it. Then marital status, just you put it in grouping variable. You must define the group. Group 1, married, group 1, group 2. My laptop is not working. Just you put it the group 1 and group 2, we'll get the results. Yes. My laptop is 1 and 2 key is not working. I could not run this program. Just you simply put it there. Then grouping variable, you select any grouping variable. Marital status. Here we must indicate, we must mention the grouping variable 1 as well as 2. The key is not working, I could not run. That's why you have to run. So how you have to draw the inferences? How we are going to draw the inferences? Based on the t value as well as p value, to draw the inferences, whether the proposed hypothesis is accepted or rejected. Based on the p value, we draw the inferences. Then we can signify that based on the mean value, which group is significantly influenced. For example, satisfaction level of Adyar suites. You collected the data from the people who are buying the sweets from Adyar. You get the responses. All the data you coded in Excel sheet and connected with SPSS and run. You are going to propose hypothesis is whether there is any significant difference between male and female consumers concerning the Adyar sweets. Will run in case the p value is significant, though the male as well as female customers are significantly differs. The taste significantly differs the quality, significantly differs the quantity, any parameter like okay. That yeah. Next, paired test is also parametric test. Paired test. We are going to check the pairing. For example, before training program, after attending the training program, students' efficiency level. For example, before training program, what is the efficiency level of student? After attending the training program, what is the efficiency level of this training program? We can measure. For example, we conduct the test. People who are not attended the training program, what is their efficiency? Then we collected the data people who are attended the training program, what is their efficiency level? We can pair that and get the results. So that is the paired t test. We get the results based on the t value as well as p value. We draw the inferences. See here now, independent t test, we are using two groups. We are using two groups, draw the inferences, male and female, married and unmarried, nuclear family and joint family, like that. The same thing in ANOVA, testing variable as well as the grouping variable should be more than 2. For example, in case age-wise, we are going to find out any differences. At the time, we use the ANOVA, analysis of variance. Only two groups are there. We have to use the t-test, independent t-test. Direct statements we are going to test, we can use the one sample t-test. You get the results. Based on the results, we draw the inferences. In case we are comparing the two groups, gender, male and female, family type, marital status, at the time we have to use only the independent t-test. In case more than two groups are there, more than two groups. So, for example, age, for example, monthly income or annual income, occupational status, like that. No? At the time, we have to use the analysis of variance. So we have to use the analysis of variance. So here the earlier test will get the t value. Here we get the f value. Here we get the f value. Based on the f value as well as p value, we draw the inferences. Based on the f as well as p value, we draw the inferences. Everything we can draw the interpretation. Whether there is any significant difference among the age group of the respondents concerning so thing. For example, I tell you a classical example. See, we are going to test. There is no significant difference among the age group of respondents. There is no significant difference among the different age group of respondents concerning banking services. Concerning private bank services. See, we already grouped the 4 groups of ages, 4 group of age of the respondent, up to 30 years, 31 to 40 years, 41 to 50 years, above 50 years. The 4 classification of age we already segregated. We collected the responses. See, the core content of the test is we are going to measure the all the age group of respondents are similar perception of banking services, or else they are having any differences, or else they are having any differences. So that purpose now we need to conduct the analysis of variance test. We'll get the results. So 4 groups are there. The core content is the banking services. We use the F test. We'll get the F value as well as P value. Based on the F value and P value, we draw the inference. We draw the inferences. Then the non-parametric test tools are the chi-square test for goodness of fit index, chi-square test, non-parametric to nominal data. In case any association, any relations we are going to test, no, we have to use the nominal data, monthly income or monthly expenditure, father height and students, kids weight. We are going to check. There is no association, there is no correlation between monthly income as well as monthly expenditure. We run the Call Pearson correlation. Call Pearson correlation, bivariate correlation. There are Spearman rank correlations available. We use the bivariate correlation, we get the result. Based on that result, we draw the inferences. Then monthly income as well as monthly expenditure, annual income as well as annual expenditure, father height and their kids weight, father's colors as well as the kids' colors. We can test any hypothesis. Which one you framed in hypothesis, no, we can use it. Calculated non-parametric test, nominal, two nominal data, we'll use it. Correlation coefficient, parametric scale data, rank correlation. In case you want to run the rank wise, no, we'll run the rank correlation, non-parametric test. Mann-Whitney, Wilcoxon sign rank test, critical values test, fragment test. These are all the non-parametric tests. These are all the non-parametric tests. I clearly stated that no, when the data is not properly distributed, you please use the non-parametric test. When the data is normally distributed, you go for only the parametric test. Don't use mingle in your research work, in your research thesis, in your dissertation. Either you go for parametric, otherwise either you go for non-parametric. Don't mingle both. But the conditions are there. There is the conditions. I learned. Now we are going to run the system tools. Yes. For example, now we are going to run the chi-square test. No? Yes. Here, no, the level of here the thing, you know, level of consumer buying behavior, ordinal data, nominal data, level of consumer buying. So testing this hypothesis, no, for example, descriptive statistics, frequency, descriptive cross tabs, you click it. The last variable, level of consumer buying research, column wise, you put it. Then, for example, age wise, you are checking. Okay, no problem. Just you put it age. Statistics. Just click the chi-square test. The chi-square alone enough. My screen is visible, dear participants. Dear participants, my screen is visible. Dear participants, Okay.
So they can unmute, sir.
Okay. No problem. Visible, visible.
Yes, sir. It's visible,
Okay,
sir.
fine, ma'am. Fine, ma'am. Thank you. Okay. Now I run the cell, the row wise and column wise. Just will continue forward as it is. We'll keep it. Then run. We get the results. Right? I share you. Check. Now, no. See the results. Age and level of consumer buying behavior towards the green products cross tabulation. The results are there. Low level, medium, and high level of consumer buying behavior towards the green products. Age 20 to 30, 31 to 40, 41 to 50, above 50. The one is there. So missing figure. One more age is a missing figure. See the value. Chi-square test. Chi-square value 39.204, degree of freedom 8. Then significant value significant. Less than 0.001. The condition. What circumstances we have to accept and reject the hypothesis. I'll show you. One sec. You check it. If the p value is less than 0.01, yes. If the p value less than or equal 0.01, that is 0.02, 0.01, then reject hypothesis at 1% level of significance. We just use denote 2 star, double star, significant at 1% level in case. Check it. This is the thing. If the p-value less than or equal 0.01, that is 0.002, 0.01, then reject hypothesis, 1% level of significance. You can mention that significant at 1% level. Significant at 1% level. In case if the p-value lies between 0.01 to 0.05, 0.011, okay, to less than or equal 0.05, then hypothesis rejected at 5% level of significance. That is denoted by 1% level of significance. If the p-value is 0.005, then accept the hypothesis. Whatever the proposed hypothesis, we must accept it. Whatever the proposed hypothesis, we must accept it and draw the inferences. Here. Here. Output, just you copy. Paste. Just I'll show you how to prepare. Okay. Hypothesis. Age group of consumers. And the behavior. Okay, these are hypotheses. Roughly prepared hypothesis. There are two aspects are there. Age group of consumers number 1. Age group of consumers is number 1. Level of consumer buying behavior, number 2. Actually, the consumer buying behavior, we collected the responses from the respondents 5-point Likert scale. That scale has been converted into data has been converted into nominal data. I tell you how to convert it. All the data we have to collect, average it, then we learn based on the quartiles, we segregate Q1, Q2, Q3. Based on the quartiles results, we can convert it as a nominal data. Actually, the consumer buying behavior is the ordinal data, which is the 5-point Likert scale data we collected from the respondents. So we cannot use directly in chi-square test. Not possible. The condition, the two data, the two segment of data should be in nominal data. Then only we can use the chi-square test. Here the condition is there. So whatever the data we collected from responses, that data has been added and calculated average score, then use the quartiles. We calculate the quartiles Q1, Q2, Q3. Q3 is the high level, Q2 medium level, Q1 is the low level. 25, 50, 75. We have been segregated the data. Okay. Level of consumer buying behavior. Low level, medium level, high level. Age group, there are 5 age groups are there. Already we calculated. Table, just to put it. Table. Just to put it results. Chi-square test for association. Okay. Now we created the table also, no problem. This row not required, we delete. Finish. Here row, two groups, two segments are there, use agree split. Yes. First. Here no, we segregate, split, 3. Okay, this column is not required. This column is not required, delete. Finish. Here we split. Finish. Age, just you cut it and paste. Finish. This column also not required now. This column also not required. Finish. To create 2 more columns. Right. Number 1. Number 2. Here just you put in the chi-square value. Here p value. Yes, all the data is covered. Just you put it there. Finish. What is the p value? P value. Yes. Just 39.294. Just you put it. P value 0.000. Finish. Chi-square is the common for all. Match. Here. Match. Finish. Now the table is consolidated. You check it, row wise, total, everything cleaned. Yes. We got it, which is less than 0.001. So significant at 1% level. Double star, we'll put it. Just to put it double star. The key is not working. Now we'll check it. The chi-square value is less than 0.01. Chi-square value less than 0.01. Therefore, the proposed hypothesis is rejected. There is no association, no. That is rejected. Accepted alternative one. Accepted alternative one. There is significant relationship. There is, based on the results, there is significant association between, yes. Based on the result, the study concluded that there is significant association between age group of consumers and level of consumer behavior. Likewise, no, we have to test it, but we don't have much time. I need to explain some more tools also. So this is the condition, the p value how we are going to identify. P value less than or equal to 0.001, 0.002, 0.01. That is 1% level of significance. P values 0.0112, 0.05 are equal, rejected 5% level. Then above 0.05, then hypothesis accepted, non-significant. Yes. Okay. The same thing, no, the same thing, some ANOVA also. I'll run only one table just to check it. ANOVA. Only one variable. Yes, I put it. Age is there. If you want postdoc, you put it, no problem. Options, you click descriptive and continue and OK. Then you'll get the results. Then you'll get the result. I share you. Wait. Yeah, this is the ANOVA result. This is the ANOVA result. There are 5 age groups: 20 to 30 years, 31 to 40, 41 to 50, above 50. Fifth one, last one, 128. Mean value, standard deviation, standard of error, confidence interval level, mean, lower bound, upper bound, minimum, maximum. These are the things not required. These 3 things are required. These things are not required. Just to put it, n is a sample size, mean, standard deviation, f value and significant value. That's enough. Based on that f value and p value, here the p value is 0.005. So whatever the hypothesis is framed, there is no significant difference among the age group of respondents concerning the services. So the proposed hypothesis is accepted. The proposed hypothesis is accepted and concluded that there is no significant difference among the age group of respondents concerning the banking services. This is the ANOVA. Then correlation, like just I can show the result. We don't have much time. Okay. P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. P1, P2, P3, P4, the significant value double star indicates the 1% level. Clearly mentioned. Correlation is significant at 0.01 level to tail. So which is statistically significant. The non-parametric test I'll run anyone. Go analyze non-parametric test. One sample independent related legal legacy dialects. Go down. K related means. Put it. Just put it. Friedman, Kendall's coherence. Which one you want, you can put it. Just as it is. Statistics or descriptive. We get the results. Here the significant value is 0.00, which is the statistically significant. The proposed hypothesis is significantly rejected, and result is supported, like that. Anyone you can check. Anyone, for example, no non-parametric test. What is the difference between parametric and non-parametric test? Parametric test, we can get the results based on the mean value. Here, no mean rank values based on the mean rank. Based on the mean rank, you can get the results. Here the same. Okay. So these are the very basic statistical tools we use to testing the hypothesis and draw the inferences. At the same time, my humble request all the scholars, you please use very apt statistical tools for testing the hypothesis. You, try to learn how to operate the software and all that. Lot of software is available today's, or is the open access, software. Even you can easily freely download and practice it. You can learn. These are the very fundamentals. At the same time, whether you are whether you are doing any research, writing the paper, or preparing any dissertation, any activity, we use very apt statistical tools that will get the results. Based on the results, you can draw the inferences. Number one. Number two, at the same time, don't mention all the results in your dissertation or thesis paper. Just whatever the content you want mentioned in paper, whatever the content you want mentioned in dissertation, that has to be mentioned in your paper or thesis. That is very relevant. Based on that information, you draw the inferences. That is very important. So the basic fundamental statistical tools, parametric as well as non-parametric tools, descriptive analysis, inferential analysis, statistical analysis, everything we discussed. Another important one, I have to touch three things. Regression analysis. Regression is very important one. We have to propose hypothesis. Based on that, we will run the regression analysis, multiple regression analysis. We'll get the results. Based on the results, we use we draw the inferences. Multiple regression analysis. That analysis, one dependent variable and various independent variables. Two types of variable is required for multiple regression. Two types of variable is required multiple regression analysis. One is independent variable, another one is dependent variable. Another one is dependent variable. how we have to classify the multiple independent variable as well as dependent variable. How we have to put it. So we are going to find out what is the purpose. We are going to use the multiple regression analysis. The purpose is we are going to find out the relationship between independent as well as dependent variable. Here the two variables are there, independent as well as dependent. But at the same time, we find out the cause effect relationship between independent as well as dependent. Yeah. How we are going to classify? These are all the variables are independent. These are all the variables are dependent. How we are going to classify? That is the thing. You know, for example, we are writing on paper consumer satisfaction about the Adayar Anubhav sweets. You know very well. Adayar Anubhav, one of the branded sweet stall in Chennai city. Lot of outlets available in Chennai. The welfare is available. Welfare is a really good quality. Everyone nowadays using Adayar Anubhav sweets. It's a good quality, of course. Hygienic also. Sweets, for example. Uh, here, no, the satisfaction is one variable. Satisfaction depends upon what? Satisfaction depends upon what? There are two types of variables. Multiple regression, we need the two types of variable, independent variable as well as dependent variable. Okay, fine. Here now we are going to study about the consumer satisfaction about the Adayar Anubhav sweets. Two variables. Satisfaction is one factor, one variable. Another four factors are there. So I am using Adayar Anubhav sweets because of taste. Taste is one independent variable. One of my friend using Adayar Anubhav sweets because of quality. Another friend using because of quantity. Another friend using sweets, Adayar Anubhav sweets because of designs. Another friend using Adayar Anubhav sweets because of hygienic. These are the independent variable. The satisfaction is the consumer satisfaction is a dependent variable. People are using Adayar Anubhav sweets. That is the dependent variable. That is a dependent factor. Then the four independent factors are there. Design, quality, quantity, hygienic. These are all the independent variable. Now we are going to find out the relationship. How far the quality influence to satisfaction? How far the hygienic influence to the satisfaction? How far the quantity influence towards the satisfaction? So we are going to find out the relationship between these two factors. Based on the beta value, standardized as well as unstandardized value, we draw the influence. So multiple regression is one of the important tools for data analysis, multivariate analysis. Many variables are using that multivariate analysis. Both independent as well as dependent factors are there. We use it. So we are going to find out the relationship between two factors. Independent as well as dependent factor. Independent is the purely depends on the dependent variable. Okay, so very example, any study you can take. E-banking services, factors influencing toward the e-banking services. Yes, e-banking services, satisfaction of e-banking services, dependent variable. What are the factors are in there? Independent variable. That data has to be used multiple regression. We draw the influence. Based on that, we draw the influence. That's multiple regression analysis. See, once we run the multiple regression analysis, we get three tables. The first one model summary, second one ANOVA table, third one coefficient. There are two types of coefficient. The standardized coefficient and standardized coefficient. They will draw the influence based on the how far the quality is influencing towards the satisfaction, how far hygienic influencing towards the satisfaction, like that. We have to R value as well as R value. Relationship between two variables, independent as well as dependent. Yes, sir. Multiple, like we don't have that much time, 1.5 hours time, just I can give outline alone. I'm sorry, I could not run the program and all that. Well, we don't have much time. 1.5 hours we can cover. What are the tools available? How we have to efficiently use in our study. Then another important one, exploratory factor analysis. Exploratory factor analysis. What does it mean? Dimension 2, EFA, exploratory factor analysis. Exploratory factor analysis. Exploratory factor analysis is nothing but the multivariate statistical methods that attempts to identify the small number of constraints or determinants or factors, which is called as exploratory factor analysis. EFA, what circumstances we have to use the EFA, exploratory factor analysis. For example, I tell you one classical example, satisfaction, for example, satisfaction of Adyar sweets. We can prepare more number of items, another 25 to 30 items. Everyone says one reason. I'm taking Adyar sweets because of taste. Somebody is taking the taste, somebody is taking design, hygienic, hall, accessibility, ambience, staff behavior. There are so many aspects are there. There are so many aspects are there. So we'll create the items. 25 to 30 items we create, no? That item, no? All the items using for a further analysis is a very, very difficult task. We cannot use. We cannot use for further analysis all the 25 variables for which we need to convert it as the predominant factors. We need to convert it as a predominant factors through the dimension reduction, EFA, exploratory factor analysis. Exploratory factor analysis. We have to reduce. We have to reduce the factors. All the 25 variables, dimension reductions. For example, I'll show you how we have to run. For example, just recorded, these are the variables, for example. Okay, just we'll go for analyze. Dimension reduction is there. One option is the dimension reduction. Factor analysis, factor, just you click that. P1, you select all the items. Okay, just transfer the data. First one, the KMO Bartlett test, sampling adequacy test, whether the sample is adequacy for running EFA, extraction, based on the eigen value or fixed number of factors. Any options you can choose. Rotation, Varimax rotation, continue, score. Okay, options. Put it 0.05. Is it visible by screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes. KMO and Bartlett's test, the sampling adequacy is 0.844, which is above the threshold level. 0.7 is enough. 0.7 above 0.7 is above the threshold level. We can use the data for exploratory factor analysis. Here the significant value also less than 0.001. Then communalities, the extractions, loadings, all the loadings are here. How many factors? We used how many variables? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15 variables we used. The 15 has been segregated into 3 factors. The 15 has segregated as a 3 factors. See the eigenvalues 3.906, 3.119, 2.710. The component matrix are there. See the rotated component matrix 8.61, 8.37, 8.22. The 3 components are there. Then this 3 component we have to rename it. These 3 components we have to rename it. Then we'll use for further analysis. Then we use for further analysis. That is the purpose we are using the exploratory factor analysis. This is also one of the important tools. We'll determine the predominant factors. Predominant factors will reduce the factors. Then the exploratory factor analysis itself is not enough. We need to use, we need to confirm it whether the identified factors, identified determinants context, whether it is feasible or not. How we are going to test? How we are going to test? How we are going to test? So the confirmatory factor analysis we have to use through confirmatory factor analysis. Through confirmatory factor analysis. So we need to check it through the. We cannot test the confirmatory factor analysis through SPSS. We need to use AMAS, Smart PLS, or Stata, Whistle, like that. We need to check it. We need to use it for confirmatory factor analysis. Then structural equation modeling, the last one, yes, nowadays is a very famous. Everybody is using structural equation modeling. See, my sincere advice, the young researcher, without your adequate level of theory building, don't use structural equation modeling. You must use the adequate level of theory building is very important. Without theory support, don't use the structural equation modeling. Structural equation modeling. Every output, every outcome, we have to define ourselves. So, okay, what does it mean? What does it mean? Structural equation modeling. Structural, there are multiple regression analysis. One dependent variable, many independent variables. Many independent variables, right? Multiple regression analysis is the one dependent variable, many independent variables are there. But structural equation modeling, the advanced method of regression model, many independent variable as well as many dependent variable, we can use a single model. We can use in a single model to get the relationship. It's a very powerful multivariate technique. It is a very powerful multivariate technique. It's scientifically tested. We can get the results accurately. Based on the results, we draw the inference. Based on the results, we draw the inferences. The same. Here now, regression analysis, we use the 2 types of variable, dependent variable as well as independent variable. Here, structural equation modeling, we use 2 categories, 2 types of variable, endogenous variable as well as exogenous variable. Endogenous as well as exogenous variable are the thing. We have to use it. AMAS is required for structural equity. In case you want to run, you want to test the structural equity modeling, AMOS is required. Any construct you need, you need to test. AMOS is required. AMOS is required. I'll show you. What. Is it visible? Confirmative factor. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. But this is the confirmative factor analysis. We used exploratory factor analysis. All the 10 items has been segregated into two factors. All the 10 items has been segregated into two factors, factor 1 and factor 2. Whatever the name related to a study, you can coin. Whatever the name, you can coin related to a study. Two factors, see the results. See the model summary, chi-square minimum value is 1.760, p-value is 0.004. Certain parameters we have to check. GFI, goodness of fit index above 9, CFI 0.923 above 9. Okay, certain parameters we have to check. Based on the parameters, we draw the inferences. So all the loadings are there. Even you can check it through the bioscope. All the values are, you can check it. But this is a very easy software, very simple software. Learning is very simple process. AMOS. Everyone easily learn the AMOS. You can use it. The scholars, the research scholars who are participating in this program, please try to learn SPSS and AMOS for your research work. Try to learn it as well as in future. It's very useful to you preparing paperwork and all that. You can write any paper, your analysis, you can do it. So my sincere advice to all of you nowadays, lot of YouTube's available, lot of videos available. You check it, all the items, all the videos, you will check it. Then simply you can learn it. So these are all the things, these are all the tools we can use it, data analysis and interpretation. Now the participants, do you have any queries or all that? I can clear.
Thank you, sir. Participants, if you have any queries, please raise your hands so I can unmute you.
Otherwise, drop your comments also in the chat box. But next time, in case you are fixing the program, please give me certain area. For example, confirmatory factor analysis.
Okay. Sure, sir.
Like that, you please give me. At least we can explain detailed manner.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Detailed manner. This is general topic, data analysis and interpretation. Matter of 1.5, 1.5 hours, equivalent task. At least I can tell what is what.
Please, you can raise your hands or you can post your questions in the chat box.
Participant, if you have any queries, any related for analysis as well as statistical point of view data, you can contact me at any time. You can contact me at any time. I share my WhatsApp number. You can share your views. Please share my WhatsApp number.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. I'll share it in the. Jonathan, sir, can you please share the
Eril Moran, KP Eril Moran. He raised one question. Can we use sampling method comes under the non-probability sampling method? Can we use? Yes, 100%. Eril Moran, you can use it parametric test. Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So before I conclude this program, so I extend my sincere thanks to the management of Patrician College, the principal, ma'am, the head of the department, the faculty members, commerce department, other faculty members for giving a wonderful opportunity. Really, I'm very happy. I'm also one of the member in this FTP program. Thank you very much.
One second, sir. Okay, today I take this opportunity to put all your gratitude into words. On behalf of Patrician College, I would like to thank the resource person, Dr. Vijay Kumar, for giving this nice presentation. Then we had a fruitful session today, sir. I thank all
Thank
the
you, ma'am.
participants for our active participation. Once again, I thank everyone for making this program successful one. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Very much. Also, extend my thanks to my student, Professor Janardhan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Shall I leave, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you.
Sir, you can close your screen presentation.
Yeah, wait. One second. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Janathan, sir, are you there? Janathan, sir, can you post the attendance sheet, please?